Hello everybody, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. Come join me today and let's catch up. So as you can see, the scenery is different, but should be a little bit familiar, or as you know, the months go on, y'all will see that we are back to our original, the first campground that we had first started at. It's been 17 days since I'm filming this one. When I've had a video up, y'all know it's just life. So we went to visit my dad's stepmom, you know, that side of the family, my grandparents and all them. That's where we, for May and June. We had so much fun spending time with them. We definitely did not want to leave them, but we are happy to be home and working on getting back to, normal. Because even though like we brought our house with us, we just went on a vacation for 2 months, but we did have fun. This has definitely been like a big gap, so y'all have missed a little bit. I do share more like day-to-day life on Instagram. I'll have that link in the description box for you guys. Y'all can go follow me there, to see more day-to-day life. I've already shared, that we had moved back here. But May was super busy. I think I posted a couple videos in May. Winston broke his foot, all that, which he got out of that for June. The last few, weeks of June, we really just was trying to, squeeze in all the fun things, finally getting to be in the pool, and all that. I'm gonna add some clips in, because I would start filming and something would happen, or I would get busy, or I was really just trying to enjoy those moments, being present, instead of just making content, because it does take time. It is a lot of extra stuff and everything, and so I've got clips of some things that we did, and so I'm gonna add that into today's video. But I really just wanted to kind of get y'all up to date. So like I said, May, June, I'll tell y'all where we were. We were in Harrodsburg at Harrington Lake. I'll post a picture of the campground that we were at, so that way y'all can go check it out. It was really cool. They did just get new owners, so they're switching things, and they're gonna be improving a lot of things. But we stayed at Chimney Rock, the RV park and campground, and it was so cool. We were literally right on the lake, but the weather was so bad for, y'all know, most of May, and then June there was a lot of rain too, and so there was just so much problems that we weren't allowed, we couldn't get in the water, so much debris and everything. And then they said that they posted this thing that you shouldn't even be getting in the water right now because there's some kind of bacteria or something. So we didn't get to go to the lake at all, but it's all right. It's all right. Winston was able to, after he got his boot off, he pretty much lived at the pool. So we had a good time. Like I said, we loved, getting to spend time with my dad and stepmom, that side of the family. After he got that boot off, nothing was stopping him. And I was so worried, that he was gonna hurt it again or something. I literally kept the boot in my car because I just was like, just in case. But so far he's been good. But for June, like I said, we were just trying to squeeze in all the fun things. We did go to in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, Old Fort Herod. We went there. We went to the settlement reenactment. That was really cool. My goal was to kind of do homeschool year round. I wanted to at least try it for this first time. But May and June, we still did things, but we didn't have full school. We just did more the field trips and the fun things like that, whenever we could squeeze that in with weather permitted as well, or honestly if I could even afford it, because there were some things that I wanted. I wanted to take him to that Shaker Village in Harrodsburg area, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I wanted to take him there, but it was going to be $30+ for us to go, and I was like, no, sorry. We're on a budget over here. We're living on one income. One income, everything's going to bills and groceries. So, like, I was trying to do the fun and the free, to get us out of the house whenever the weather allowed. But so we did do that. I'm trying to think what else I did. I wanted to go to Harrodsburg. I wanted to go into Danville, Kentucky, and they had like a couple different like museums, and there was like an art museum, but we weren't able to do any of that. There was something, the Ethan McDowell Museum, I think that's what it's called. I may be saying that wrong. But we weren't able to do that either. My stepmom also planned a trip to the Glitz. I love the Glitz. I believe it's in Jessamine County, Kentucky. That may be wrong. I'll have their website linked down below. But the Glitz, it's like a fancy tea kind of room restaurant situation in the basement of this huge like antique, building, and they have all kinds of like it's packed with vintage, all the things, antiques, all of it. I love that place. So she planned a trip and we went. I think the only thing I forgot to get a picture of was my appetizer, and I got broccoli soup, which it was so good. But the salmon and the salad, I even ate some of the salad, y'all, and it was good. Y'all know I don't like salad, but it was good. Or I used to not like salad. I'm starting to like it now. And then for dessert, I got the cake, and it was delicious too. But that place is so cool. I love going. I've been going, on and off for years, as I could. But it's definitely delicious. If you have not been, go check it out. Go to the restaurant. I do think I'm pretty sure it is reservation only though, so you got to call, ahead of time and make reservations for it. But it's so worth it. Take the day, have a girls trip or whatever, and go. And like I said, you can tour the upstairs, and then downstairs, is the little restaurant area, and it's so good. Oh, I did want to mention a place to you guys. In Lexington, Kentucky, I met one of my friends, and we had like a girls' day, and we went to this cafe. It's called Kentucky Native Cafe, and it's downtown Lexington. Are you going to use the bathroom? It's downtown Lexington, and it's outside, and there's like a greenhouse. There was a play area. There was outside seating. They had like this menu. Their food was so good. We had so much fun. And then we went to the Peddler's Mall, and shopped around. We only did one floor, but it had changed a lot since if you don't know, we lived in Lexington for Lexington and Richmond. Between the two of them, we lived there for 8-9 years. And so it had changed. The Peddler's Mall had changed a lot. And then that cafe, y'all got to try that. So Lexington, Kentucky, I'll tag the website if I see it. But it's Kentucky Native Cafe. The food was delicious. It was on the pricier side. And then of course the greenhouse, you can purchase plants and everything. But it was so pretty. And I could not believe that it was just in the middle. Like, I'll show pictures. You would not believe that it was literally in the middle of downtown. But it was so good, and we had so much fun. Yeah, but like I said, we had so much fun. Hated leaving, but now we're back to reality. And we moved on Friday. Something happened to our propane within the moving process, and we didn't have hot water for 2 days. Luke finally got it fixed before he headed back out over the road. Thankfully, so I was able to finally wash the dishes after 3 days of being here. Things were piling up, but thankfully we got that done. I did say that, we might go to somewhere else, and we did talk about it, but we just needed a break. So we came back here. You never know with us, and I feel like if you've been here a while, you kind of get that drift, like you really don't know. We just pick up and go whenever, or wherever, you never know. And our house is literally on wheels, so I don't know. But right now we just needed to get back to some normalcy, get back into school. The internet, the only one of the bad things I will say about that campground was the internet. It was terrible. Like, we couldn't even get the TV to come on with just the park internet. Thankfully, my dad and stepmom let us use they have like an internet box. They let us use that, but we could only, the TV and our phones was really the only thing that we could get to work on that. The computer would still not turn on. Y'all know that I do book work and online work, and so since that wasn't working, we just kind of stuck with the book work and did like the field trips and stuff. Like, we watch documentaries on rainy days, like, how you can just squeeze everything in, like homeschool wise. But now that we're back home, I'm trying to hit the online work a little bit hard just so we can get finished up. My goal is to get finished up for September, and then that way we can go ahead and start the next school year. But yeah, we're here. We're back where we were. Max has been enjoying the dog park again, getting to wiggle in the grass, and so yeah, we had a good, start to the summer, other than Winston breaking his foot, and Luke did end up getting sick. He was going to take some vacation time while we were there, but that didn't happen because it ended up being sick days instead of vacation days. But he's back and better, but it took him a little while to get better. So we had May in the beginning of June was full of doctor's appointments with him and Luke. I was like, oh my gosh. But I'm really hoping that the weather, because it's been so hot, I'm hoping that July and August will be better. That way we can do some more summer things and enjoy hiking and everything again here. So today is Monday when I'm filming this, and this morning we got up, got right to it. We went to the library, we did a tie-dye. That's why my fingers are different colors, because we did a tie-dye class, like an art class, tie-dyed t-shirts, and then he drew on the canvas. We did that this morning. So we, now that Luke's back out on the road, just me and him, we're back to our normal routine. I had asked a while back, or I had asked whenever right when we moved, I said I was going to do an updated get to know me, like Q&A. Hasn't happened yet, but I did have, several of you guys asked about my mental health and just asked about RV life. And I will say that we definitely have felt burned out, all of us. Even Luke's not here as much as Winston and I, but taking that 2 months and just kind of going, I feel like I really needed that just to kind of get away and reset myself, and because I don't know, like, I'm burned out, you know what I'm saying, like. And I've talked about this, like, it's not terrible, like, yeah, we live in a tight space. Yes, I wish I had a big garden right now, and seeing everybody else, with their land and farmhouse and all the animals, I'm just like, like, but I know that I've got to stay positive and follow God's plan. I know that He's going to get us there, and in His timing. But I was so burned out. Cause I was just like, like, I got through winter. I got through winter, no seasonal depression. I was super proud of myself. I did good. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm going, like, it just kind of hit me. Not that I was depressed, but I'm just like, I'm going nuts. Like, my anxiety, that's one thing I've really been struggling. My anxiety has been really bad recently, the past few months. Several reasons, but it's just been like, I'm just constantly worrying about everything. My anxiety is like, it's like almost crippling for certain things. But I'm working through that, trying to stay positive. I do need to get back to my yoga, and like do more of my self-care things, because I have kind of fallen off the rocker just a little bit, where I had to prioritize myself with just the chaos of life right now. That's part of it. You do have to sometimes put yourself on the back burner, but y'all know how I am, because that self-care, and prioritizing yourself is super important. So now that we're getting back to it, I'm definitely ready to get back out here and do some yoga and, you know, just really try to get back to focusing on me and, you know, finding that balance. And hopefully it will help calm me and try to get this anxiety to go away. But like I've talked about, like, the RV is not terrible, but in my opinion, and if you're gonna do this, if you are not already, you know, like, I feel, okay, so I think my words were there, because I've talked to my sister-in-law about this, because you know, they lived in a camper. There was 5 of them plus a dog living in a camper while their house were being built. And I was like, I'm going crazy. And she was like, well, there's a difference between me and you. They already had the land. They had, you know, she was able to go and work on her garden while they were still in the camper. They were able to, you know, see the house, you know, go through that process, and like, they were already there. And so she's like, that's the big difference, is because y'all are living in the campground. Y'all, it's like no end in sight. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had to, like I said, I needed a little reset. I needed a mental reset, and just to kind of refresh things and be like, okay, we can do this again, you know? But if, like I said, I feel like it would feel different if we were already on the land, you know, and we had our own space. You know, because like I said, with us being in a campground, it's just hard, you know? And yes, we chose this, which one, there wasn't a lot of rental options when we were needing somewhere to live. And like, we knew we have an end goal. You know, I've talked about that. That's the goal. We have an end goal. We don't know how long it's going to take us to get there. You know, we just keep praying, letting God lead us in that direction, you know, the right direction. But it's still hard, you know, like, it's hard when, you know, you have that end goal, and, you know, like I said, I would love to be out working in a garden, or, you know, feeding animals and stuff like that. And I know that time will come. And so it's hard sometimes where, like, right now I'm just, you know, I'm stuck inside, you know, but you got to remind yourself, you know, I'm blessed. I have a hardworking husband, working his butt off, to, you know, provide for us, for, you know, allow me to be home, for YouTube to be a hobby. You know, we have a roof over our heads. Like, we are very blessed, but it's still hard. Because, you know, one of my friends I've talked to, she was like, I love watching your videos. I would love to be able just to live in a camper and just pick up and move. And I'm like, but I want what you got. You know, like, I want the land. I want the garden. So, you know, it's just funny because, you know, you just have to sit back and, like, you know, set yourself straight, you know. Come on, you got this. You know, you kind of got to refocus. So that's what I think. That's, like I said, I think that was, you know, part of it. Like, it did seem quick. Like, we just picked up and was like, okay, let's go start our summer somewhere else. But like, I did want to visit with family, and, you know, because we don't get to see them a lot where, you know, we do live, you know, 2.5 hours away from them. So it was nice. And it, you know, it is cool where you can just pick up your house, you know, and go somewhere else. But this feels like this is home, you know, like our hometown, you know, like, we like it here. And so, like, that's the end goal, is to find land here, but we don't know when that's going to come. So we're trying to still embrace this journey, you know. And I think, yeah, I needed a little recharge, and I think Winston did too, because, like I said, we're all burned out. And so I think, you know, him being able to, you know, get out of the house more, you know, even with all, you know, because I was so frustrated in May. Like, I'm like, you know, why are we doing this? You know, like, you know, we're here, Luke's sick, Winston's got a boot, you know, it's just like one thing after the next. I'm like, I just want a vacation. And then now I'm like, we had such a good time, you know, like, all of those problems, it's you know, it's nothing. Like, we had such a good time, and like, we're already planning when we can try to go, or, you know, they're gonna come here, you know, like, But yeah, we all had a good time. But like I said, we had so much fun. Really enjoyed getting to spend time with everybody, and I'm really glad that we went. Super sad, leaving them, but glad that we went. So I will add some clips in. I'll probably add some pictures too, because like I said, I just didn't prioritize it. Like I said, I was just trying to, especially towards the end, and like I know the internet was bad, I wasn't able to post, but I really just wanted to just be present. And so I'll add pictures in and some video clips that I got for the rest of this video, so that way y'all can see a few things that we did and places that we went and everything. But like I said, make sure you follow me on Instagram. There will be, like, I might go like a day or two without posting anything, but I do normally post more like day to day, and I'll share like stuff that I like. And I feel like Instagram is just more of a closer, like, get to know me on like a day-to-day basis, I guess. But I know not everybody has Instagram, and that's fine too. But if you want to see more daily life like that, where I don't post all the time on here, then definitely check out my Instagram. But my goal, and I need y'all to help hold me accountable, okay? My goal is to post 2 days a week. I don't know what days. I don't have a set schedule in my head. My goal is just to try to get 2 days a week out, 2 videos a week out. So I need y'all's help. So if y'all don't see 2 videos, y'all better call me out for it, because this is something else that I really need to try to get back in. Like, I miss it. I keep saying I can't prioritize it, but I need to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, I gotta push myself, make it happen. But I will add those clips in. Thanks for sitting down and catching up with me, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.
caught it between my arms. I didn't actually. I'm gonna get her.
You missed me.
She said you missed.